Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer at age 48. Despite strong medical advice to have surgery right away, he refused and tried herbal remedies, acupuncture, juice diets, and spiritual therapies instead. He finally had to the operation 9 months later. But by then, the tumor had grown too much. Jobs died in his early 50s. If he had chosen surgery earlier, his chance of survival would have been almost 100%. This shows how vital it is to trust evidence-based medicine and reject common medical myths. That's why today I will tell you medical myths that are widely spread on social media but simply are not true. The first myth is that you need to drink 8 glasses or 2 liters of water every day, even if you are not thirsty. In reality, the human body is very good at controlling hydration. About 90% of studies show that people get enough fluids naturally without worrying about a fixed number of glasses, water, tea, coffee, milk, and even foods like fruits and vegetables all contribute to your daily fluid intake. This myth started in 1945 when US Food and Nutrition Board said that human requires 2.5 liters water per day, but they also noted that most of this amount comes from prepared foods, a detail that most people ignored. Yes, some groups do need to pay more attention to their fluid intake, such as elderly, since their sense of thirst is weaker and dehydration risk is higher, and pregnant and breastfeeding women who need extra fluids, athletes in hot climates because they lose more fat. The second medical myth is that vaccine causes autism. This idea started in 1998 when medical journalist Andrew Wakefield published a claim in the journal suggesting that vaccine was linked to autism, but his report was based only 12 children, and it turned out to be false. Wakefield eventually lost his medical license because of this. Today, it's widely accepted by medical communities and all major studies indicate that there is no connection between vaccine and autism. The real reason people think there's a link between autism and vaccine is that usually autism is diagnosed around the same age when children receive their vaccinations. This is just a coincidence. It does not matter whether a child gets vaccines or not. If they are predisposed to autism, they will develop it. The third myth is that cracking your knuckles causes arthritis. In reality, there is fluid between your joints that contains gas, mostly carbon dioxide. When you stretch or bend your fingers, these gases dissolve and then collapse, creating familiar popping sound. Large-scale studies have compared people who regularly crack their knuckles with those who never do, and there is no difference in the rate of arthritis. And neck cracking is a bit different. It is often caused by gas bubbles in the synovial fluid, but sometimes it happens when ligaments and tendons move over the bone. Cracking your neck occasionally is not linked to arthritis, but forceful or repetitive neck manipulations like aggressive chiropractic adjustments or self-manipulation can be risky. The fourth myth is that reading in dim light ruins your eyesight. This is not true. Reading in low light can cause temporary eye strain, discomfort, or a headache, but it does not cause permanent eye damage or make your vision worse. Multiple studies confirm that there is no lasting structural damage or increased risk of myopia, nearsightedness, cataracts, or retinal problems from reading in dim conditions. Even reading a lot does not lead to permanent vision loss. You might just feel some strain, which goes away with rest. In children, the situation is a bit different. Kids who read for long periods may have slightly higher chance of developing myopia, but this is more related to a lack of outdoor light, not reading itself. Using computer screen also does not cause retinal damage or permanent vision loss. However, long screen can lead to digital eye strain, which means dry eyes, blurred vision, and sometimes headache, but it does not result in permanent problems. The fifth myth is that wet hair and cold air cause a cold or flu. The truth is, even when people are in wet conditions, they are not more likely to catch a cold unless they are also exposed to a virus. Long exposure to cold air can temporarily reduce nasal blood flow and weaken the immune response, which may make it a little easier for viruses to enter. The sixth myth is that shaving hair makes it grow faster, thicker, and darker. The reality is that it's not true. Multiple scientific studies show that new hair has the same texture, color, and growth speed as before. The Mayo Clinic and American Academy of Dermatology and many other medical organizations confirm this. People often think hair comes back thicker because shaving cuts the hair at the skin surface, leaving a blunt edge. These blunt tips feel coarser or stubborn, which gives the impression of being thicker. Freshly grown hair also has not been lightened by the sun or chemicals, so the new growth can look darker at first. Plus, contrast between shaved skin and regrown hair can make the hair seem more visible. The seventh myth is that you must wait 1 hour after eating before swimming. This idea goes back to early 20th century, based on the belief that after eating, blood flow increases to the digestive system and less blood is available to muscles. It was thought that this could cause muscle cramps and make drawing more likely. However, studies have never confirmed this. You might feel a bit discomfort if you swim strenuously right after a heavy meal, but there is no evidence of increased risk of cramps or drawing. The eighth myth is that human uses only 10% of the brain. This idea started 100 years ago and it was misinterpretation of neurological research by William James, who wrote that we use only small part of our potential mental and physical resources, though he never said 10% specifically. The reality is we use almost all parts of our brain, and this is measurable. Functional MRI and PET scan studies show that nearly 100% of brain is active at different times throughout the day in a typical day situations. And the ninth myth is that microwaving foods make it unhealthy or radioactive. This belief started in early 70s when home microwaves became more popular and the word radiation was unfamiliar for people. Many people confuse microwave radiation with radioactive radiation, but there is huge difference. Radioactive radiation is ionizing and harmful, while microwave radiation is non-ionizing and safe. Microwave heat food by agitating water molecules, causing friction and producing heat. They don't make food radioactive. Studies show that the nutritional value of food is preserved, sometimes even better than the boiling or frying, because microwaving is faster and uses less water. Research confirms that vitamins and nutrient losses are similar or even less than other cooking methods. The World Health Organization and US Food and Drug Administration both state that microwaving food is safe and does not make food unhealthy or dangerous.